we go. All right. Woo.
These are exciting times. Today we're riding the 2018 Specialized Enduro Pro 29er. I felt right at home on this bike almost instantly, even without the pedals, because after researching the geometry on this bike, I discovered it's nearly identical to the Jeffsy. Here they are next to each other for reference. The biggest difference, of course, being the frame material, suspension travel, and of course the wheel size. If you do hate 29ers though, this bike also accommodates 27.5 plus wheels. To quickly touch on the specs, it has an Ohlins RXF 36 fork and STX rear shock, SRAM X01 Eagle 1x12, SRAM Code R brakes, which are a huge improvement over the guide brakes, and basically carbon everything else. I've left a link in the description below to all the specs and geometry. I haven't been on a 29er in over 5 years since I sold my Rockhopper, and I didn't particularly love the wheel size back then. In the ongoing debate of 27.5 versus 29, I tend to lean towards the 27.5, so I was interested in trying out a 29er again. In getting the bike set up, a feature I really dig is the auto-sag on the rear suspension. They got it dialed in for my weight at the shop before I even took it home. I appreciate this a ton because setting up suspension is one of the least fun parts of biking. I wish all forks came with this sag marker like the RockShox, but with this Ohlins fork I had to dust off my brain and do some math. Ugh. I decided to test this beast out at Leon Creek because it's more technical than McAllister, and I wanted to use the 160mm travel provided to me. I was instantly impressed at how this thing pedaled. I figured it wouldn't feel that efficient with all that travel, but it was far more responsive than I imagined.
Dang. Oh wow, this thing's fast. Dang. It's so fast. Oh. Good.
The wheel size also blew me away.
Actually a lot of fun.
I was expecting to be wildly out of control on corners and threatening everyone else's safety, but it just felt right. It handled just as well as the Jeffsy and didn't feel as bulky as I had expected. One thing I could tell though was how much quicker it was, which I did expect. This provided plenty of smiles, especially while pointed downhill.
Good lord, this bike's cool.
This bike just annihilates everything in its path. And with all that travel, makes rough descents feel like freshly paved tarmac.
Oh. Whoa.
It also took any poor line choice I made and gave me a reassuring "I've got you" response while rolling its metaphorical eyes. Thanks, Enduro. It was truly a majestic experience, and here comes that term again: confidence inspiring.
Sweet. Didn't touch the brakes. I don't know. We'll try to pump more through this. See how that goes. Nice. So I'm getting better at bumping. I didn't pedal once through that section. That's what dreams are made of. Okay, much better.
I was feeling like a badass all morning until this happened.
It's not that bad. Here, there we go. All right. Woo. Oh, shit. Ah. Fuck. What the fuck? Shit. I'm okay. The bike looks fine. I don't see any major damage. Gimbal still works, so that's nice.
Luckily, the only thing that got severely damaged was my pride, and my confidence descended faster than this bike.
I'm getting over this.
This happened pretty early on in the day, so I was very lucky this didn't end my ride. I did come back later and redeem myself on this hill, so I'm happy with that.
And brake.
Anyways, this bike handled well, and I thought, dang, this thing is pretty spectacular, but surely it can't climb well. Wrong again. While this bike weighed in at 31 pounds and I could feel that during climbing, the bike wasn't hindered as much as I expected. With the 1x12 and the granny gear, I could definitely get up some steep terrain. Any climb I've done here on the Jeffsy, I was able to do on this bike as well.
Oh, we're in the 12th gear. But we're doing it.
Some other unique features on this bike include a multi-tool stored in the headset, which I actually use to adjust my saddle height.
So cool thing, check this out. It's got some tools pop out of it.
The SWAT door so you can store some extra gear in the down tube. And the saddle itself actually tilts back when the dropper is lowered all the way, so you can get as rad as you want. I finally found the BMX track, but I just rolled it mostly because I'm not that gnarly. Of all the bikes I've demoed, this has to be my favorite one. It felt satisfyingly familiar while outperforming all my expectations. I kind of want a 29er in my life now.
Love it. Oh, wow.
As you've come to expect from me, I'm about to complain about the price. Sort of. While this bike is $6,500, you could literally ride it for years without needing anything else.
Oh, wow.
While I don't think the term do-it-all exists for any bike, this one comes pretty damn close. If you break down the cost of the bike to a per-ride basis, you'll probably find you've gotten every dime's worth out of it. I totally feel like each ride is worth at least $100 of fun. So in 65 rides, this thing pays for itself. The price tag's less shocking if you think of it that way. A huge thank you to Matt and the entire team over at Bicycle Heaven for letting me demo this over the weekend. If you are in San Antonio, please go visit one of their 2 locations. They sell specialized bikes, have everything you could possibly need to get riding, and also have a knowledgeable and friendly staff. They all treated me like a friend rather than a customer, and I can't thank you all enough for this. Your team can put their hands all over my bike anytime they want. That sounds weird. I mean, work on it. Have you ridden the Specialized Enduro? And if so, what did you think of it? What's the best bike that you've demoed? Let me know in the comments down below. I truly enjoyed this bike, and the hardest part about riding it was having to give it back. Thank you so much for watching, and until next week, stay rowdy within reason.
That's using your head.